The sudden disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, an 84-year-old grandmother from Tucson, Arizona, quickly became one of the most unsettling mysteries in recent memory. To the public, she was the resilient mother behind her well-known daughter, Savannah Guthrie, admired for raising 3 children after the death of her husband decades earlier. Friends described her as dependable, humble, and devoted to family and faith. Yet, as investigators began uncovering clues following her disappearance, a far more complicated story surfaced. What seemed like a straightforward missing person case soon revealed a hidden life that Nancy had carefully guarded for more than 30 years. A life defined by strength and responsibility. After the death of her husband Charles in 1989, Nancy became the center of stability for her 3 teenagers. Living in a modest ranch-style home in Tucson's Catalina foothills, she worked part-time as a bookkeeper and devoted herself to raising her children, Savannah, Annie, and Cam. Those who knew her remember a woman who rarely complained and always seemed composed. She volunteered at church, supported her children's ambitions, and built a home filled with warmth and discipline. To her family, Nancy represented resilience. She appeared to embody the image of a widow who had chosen loyalty to her late husband and children above all else. The mysterious envelope that changed everything. 5 days after Nancy vanished, a mysterious envelope arrived at Savannah's New York residence. Inside was a faded photograph of Nancy from decades earlier. In the picture, a younger Nancy stood outside a cafe in Santa Fe, New Mexico, beside an unidentified man. On the back of the photo, someone had written a cryptic message. She deserved more than secrets. Ask about Elena. The image was dated 1992, 3 years after Charles's death. When Savannah showed the photograph to her siblings during a tense video call, none of them recognized the man or the name Elena. That moment marked the beginning of a shocking discovery. A chance encounter in Santa Fe. Investigators soon learned that Nancy's hidden life began in 1991 during a church retreat in Santa Fe. While still grieving her husband, she met Victor Ramirez, an artist and gallery owner originally from Mexico City. Victor had also endured loss. His wife had died in a car accident years earlier. Their shared grief formed an immediate connection. Victor's personality was different from anything Nancy had known before. He was creative, passionate, and lived an unconventional life immersed in art and culture. What started as a simple friendship during a retreat weekend quietly developed into a relationship that Nancy would keep secret for decades. The birth of Elena. During her visits to Santa Fe, Victor gave Nancy a nickname, Elena. Inspired by a character in a Mexican novel they both admired, the name represented a different side of her personality. Under this alias, Nancy felt free from the expectations that defined her life in Tucson. While at Victor's gallery, she helped manage accounts, organized exhibitions, and even experimented with painting herself. In Santa Fe, she attended art gatherings, music events, and lively discussions among artists and writers. Elena was confident and expressive, qualities Nancy felt she could never show openly to her family back home. Building a parallel life. By the mid-1990s, Nancy's secret routine had become carefully structured. She told her children she was traveling to visit church friends or attend spiritual retreats, but instead she drove the 8-hour journey to Santa Fe every few months. There she spent weekends with Victor helping him run his small gallery. She opened a modest bank account under the name Elena Ramirez and occasionally transferred small amounts from her bookkeeping income to support the business. It was never large sums, but it symbolized her investment in this alternate life. Over time, Elena became a recognized figure among Santa Fe's artistic community. Balancing family and freedom. Back in Tucson, Nancy remained the same dependable mother her children admired. She attended family celebrations, cared for her grandchildren, and regularly spoke with Savannah as her journalism career expanded. Meanwhile, in Santa Fe, Elena enjoyed the independence she had never experienced during her early marriage and years of motherhood. The two identities coexisted for decades. Nancy believed she could maintain both worlds without harming anyone. To her, Santa Fe represented freedom and personal expression, while Tucson remained the place where her responsibilities and deepest love, her family, resided. Letters, secrets, and a hidden archive. To avoid leaving digital evidence, Nancy and Victor relied heavily on handwritten letters. These messages described their time together, their artistic ambitions, and Nancy's struggle to maintain two identities. She kept the letters hidden in a locked box under her bed in Tucson. In one letter from 2005, she described Tucson as my duty and Santa Fe as the breath that keeps me alive. Over time, the box accumulated photographs, sketches, and documents connected to her Elena persona. That hidden archive would later become a crucial piece of the investigation once Nancy disappeared. Tension and anxiety in later years. As Nancy aged, the strain of maintaining her secret life became more difficult. Victor later told investigators that arguments began occurring during the 2000s. Nancy felt increasingly guilty about hiding their relationship from her children. At the same time, she feared revealing the truth would damage the family image she had worked so hard to protect. During the COVID-19 pandemic, travel restrictions kept her confined in Tucson for long periods. She communicated with Victor through encrypted messaging on a second phone she kept hidden in her walker compartment. Her anxiety grew as the separation forced her to confront the double life she had maintained for so long. Financial clues and a suspicious transfer. When investigators began reviewing Nancy's financial records, they discovered small transfers between her Tucson accounts and the Santa Fe account belonging to Elena Ramirez. These movements were consistent with the support she had quietly provided Victor's gallery for years. However, one transaction stood out: a $5,000 wire transfer in December 2025 sent to an unknown account in Mexico. Victor claimed he had no knowledge of the payment. Authorities began to suspect the possibility of blackmail. Someone may have discovered Nancy's secret identity and threatened to reveal it unless she paid. The missing box and a possible motive. During the investigation of Nancy's home, police noted that the locked box containing her letters and photographs was missing. Blood droplets were also discovered, suggesting a struggle had occurred. Investigators theorized that the intruder may have specifically targeted the box, recognizing that it contained evidence of Nancy's double life. If someone had discovered her identity as Elena, they might have attempted to extort her or silence her permanently. The mysterious wire transfer and the disappearance of the box strengthened the theory that Nancy's secret life had finally caught up with her. Conclusion: a mystery, still unfolding. Nancy Guthrie's story has transformed from a missing person case into a deeply human mystery about identity, secrecy, and the hidden lives people sometimes lead. For more than 3 decades, she balanced two worlds, one built on family devotion in Tucson, and another centered on art and personal freedom in Santa Fe. Whether her disappearance was caused by blackmail, revenge, or another unknown factor remains unclear. What is certain is that Nancy's life was far more complex than anyone realized. As investigators continue searching for answers, the truth behind her vanishing remains just out of reach.